This is a privately maintained road, the camp road here. And just like any gravel road, you know, when it rains, if there's a little divot, the divot gets bigger, it turns into a mud puddle, right? Or a puddle. And then people drive on it and they tend to go a little too fast. They hit that puddle and just makes the puddle deeper and wider, right? Because it just, anything loose in there, fine gravel, it just goes out with the water when the tires hit it. Yet there's a lot of complaining about the potholes on this road. Now, my 84-year-old stepdad, he's been working on filling the potholes, but it has to be done when it's not raining, it's not going to rain, or has water in the puddles when you fill it, right? Because when you hit it, and the tires are going to splash it out. So he's been working on that. He started way out and working further in. But he's limited, one, because of his age, and two, because the on and off rain. So, it rained quite a bit here overnight and this morning. So, up on top of the hill where the woods crew came in, they were in here when it was too late, starting to get soft. And the weight of the logs and the logging trucks made little tire wheel tracks, right? It just sunk it in. It's gradual that you're going to drag with a low-lying car, but enough for when it rains, the rain goes in those tire tracks where everybody travels and comes down my way. It comes down toward the bog. So there's a low-lying area down there where he started filling it in. Didn't complete it for whatever reason. So it rained, the water come down those travel tire grooves and into that puddle. Seems though it's been fixed up on the other end where you come in. It's rather smooth, so it's smoother, so people think they can go a little faster than what they should be going on a dirt road. They come down and they hit that mud puddle, or that puddle. It's not mud, it's a puddle, and splash the water out, continuing to make that puddle deeper, wider, longer, splashing out any fill that was put in there. So when you mention that, when they say, I'll be glad when he finishes filling these potholes. And I feel like saying, well, why? So you can go faster? There's no reason to go like a bat out of hell on this road. And they don't realize that every time they come in too fast, instead of going around that puddle, they go right straight through it and they splash any fill that's in there out with the water. They don't realize that they're part of the problem with why this road needs to be fixed so often. Because they're in a hurry. They didn't think, or when you question it to them, well, I didn't do that. I wasn't going fast. I watched them, folks. So they can say and they can deny that they're not driving through the puddle when yes they are, or they're driving too fast. They're saying they're not driving too fast. Well, yes they are. If it was an emergency, that'd be one thing. But to drive 15, 20, 25 miles an hour on this road, this gravel road, you shouldn't have to do that. For that. And when I questioned one person, they said, well, your birds are penned up now, so it's not like I'm going to hit any birds. Well, no, but you're hitting the pothole that's filled with water that's trying to be fixed if the weather ever cooperates. And then you turn around and complain about the road when they're not helping to fix the road. They're complaining a lot about the road being bumpy and how it needs to be fixed. It's not smooth enough. Well, it's not a tar road, folks. It really isn't. And they don't even realize they're part of the problem. They're not going to admit that, and they're not going to help fix the road, right? So I was down there because we got a lot of rain, folks. And I was down there with my shovel trying to make a little channel for the water to drain out into the ditch to help with the splashing and further washing out. I came back in, tended to my stove, warm up a little bit, and 3 vehicles came barrel-assing up through that mud puddle, and yet they complain about the road being bumpy. People want their cake and eat it too. I am very disappointed. I'm very flustered. My stepdad has a backhoe, and he maintains the road. I have a shovel and a garden works cart, and I maintain the road. I do it manually. He has a backhoe. If the backhoe breaks down, he has to maintain that. If I break down, because I am my machine here, because I don't have machinery, I am the machine, and I'm doing so with a broken rib in the rain. And just as soon as you make that channel, the water isn't all the way out, and 3 vehicles come and they race through it like it's, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. And then they complain and don't help fix, but they still complain. I think we're in the woods, folks. It's not a tarred road. Good grief. So I'm taking my time, being in pain, working a shovel, trying to fix so it doesn't get, or at least make it so it doesn't get worse, and then to have everything undone by a vehicle that comes up by too fast, and then they deny they were going fast, and they deny they hit the puddle. Or you tell them, geese. And one person said, well, I didn't think about that. I just didn't think. I don't know where my mind was. Well, obviously, it's not on the moment. That's what's going on with this country. No one is thinking. No one is. They're quick to complain. They're quick to grumble. They're not quick to help fix, or they have all kinds of excuses why they can't help. And then they deny they're doing it, or I didn't think. If they get out there with a broken rib in the rain with a shovel, trying to make it so that pothole doesn't get worse, if they were out there, they might think twice about driving through that mud puddle going 30, 35 miles an hour on a back dirt road, making the road worse, right? You would think they would have that common sense and to think past their nose, but they don't. But they don't. If they were out there fixing it, they might think twice. Or maybe not. I don't know. I get flustered. Now, most of the vehicles that come in here drive pretty slow. I know the UPS man and the FedEx guy and the postman have been spoken to about driving too fast in here. They have. I know that for a fact. They might not understand why they're being asked to slow down, because none of them have given me a chance to really even say anything about why. But it should be pretty obvious when I have birds, right? Now my birds are penned up now, so the normal people that come in here feel, well, I don't have to look for birds anymore, so I can speed up a little bit. The road up above or down below was smooth, so I guess I can increase my speed. Well, maybe you probably can, but when the road has a puddle in it and it's trying to be fixed, and you don't have the common sense to think beyond your nose, and you hit that puddle going 30 miles an hour, that throws everything right out of that puzzle. We're working backwards, folks. We're working backwards. We're not gaining. We're not gaining a bit. So I get flustered. I get flustered at the people's lack of common sense, the lack of, they're not taking the effort to even think, let alone critically think, let alone plan ahead. Planning ahead in this friggin' world right now that is so uncertain. Yeah, I know people are fear-mongering. Other people are so laid back they don't even know anything about what's going on. I know quite a few people that don't have a clue what's going on because they're not paying attention, right? So there's got to be an in-between. There's got to be a common thought out there, I would think, when they're paying almost twice as much for a loaf of bread. You would think they would stop and give that some thought, right? I'm flustered. I'm flustered today. I'm so tired of people not thinking and processing and slowing down enough so they can think, right? And then when they're called on it to say, no, I wasn't, well, that's lying. You might be fooling yourself, but you're not fooling me, right? I'm flustered. I'm flustered. I belong out in the woods. I belong where there's no contact to people someday because I'm all the better for it. I really am. I don't get as flustered when I don't have to deal with people. I don't shake my head. When I don't deal with people, I don't... It's irritating, folks. Why can't people think past their nose? Why can't people plan past their nose? Why can't people reason? Is beyond me. Is it something in the water? Is it something in the air? Or is that just where our society is going? If that's the case, I'm glad that I have very few contacts. I'm very glad that I don't have to go out very often in the populace. I'm very glad that I can spend time by myself and not be influenced by a lot of things out there. The more time you spend by yourself, the more in tune with who you are and your beliefs. You're not influenced by others. You can think clearer. You can rationalize things. You can put pieces of the puzzle together a little easier. People are in such a hurry to go nowhere. It boggles my mind, folks. It boggles my mind. So I guess I really don't have much to say today other than to vent. So that's just where it is today, folks. I'm certainly not perfect. I have my good days and my bad days, and usually my bad days is where people are involved. It really is, folks. So anyway, the rain is starting to pick up again. I'm going to go in, put my tripod away, put another log on the fire, and try not to be so flustered, right? Bye.